Hello everybody, Undertaker here, back with a review for y'all. Here my third wrestling related video in a row here. I meant to do this one before Survivor Series there. Nevertheless, we have it out here for y'all. Now, for those of you who have watched Survivor Series or you maybe know that there was Undertaker's last appearance there, Final Farewell there, coming off over a 30-year career, and it was definitely a bittersweet moment to see, yeah, it was something we expected for a while, but, it's definitely, not going to be the same to see the Undertaker around and not see him wrestle again, so right there, Yeah. Well, Undertaker definitely had a historical career there. So, that was one of the best of all time there, Yeah. It's definitely an example of longevity with the longevity of career in the wrestling business. There you go. So I hope all the Undertaker's memory by his wrestling career. I decided to make a video tribute to him there. When at first I was stuck on what to talk about with the Undertaker there, but then I got figured I got the right topic here. Everyone, Undertaker, with him being 30 years of WWE, he's faced off against He's faced off a lot of people within that time span there. And he's given some of the most memorable rivalries, not just WWE, but all professional wrestling. So with already Undertaker there, I decided to list my favorite rivalries that that man's had over his career. So now, everyone, two things real quick, everyone. One is, like I said, my brain for that. Two notifications real quick, everybody. First of all, these are just my personal opinions of my favorite rivalries for the Undertaker there, so you don't have to agree with the list, but please be respectful down in the comments there, and you can list rivalries that the Undertaker's that was a particular rivalry that Undertaker's that was one of your favorites from him there that I didn't mention the list there in the comments below. And number two, second notification one, this list is in no particular order by so this is just the list of some of my favorite rivalries from Undertaker's career, during his career and stuff like that there, but I've got a good number of rivalries there, but I don't have everybody on the list, so this won't be a super long video there, but I figure I got a good number of people on the list here, everybody, so like I said, this won't be a particular order, everybody, so yeah. Anyway, with that being said, well, let's go and get right to the list here, everybody. And sorry for the burping there. It had some food not too long ago, but anyways, and one of the first person on the list here, by my favorite rivalries for the Undertaker, by is with Randy Orton. Now, everyone, the few of the Randy Orton's mainly on here due to nostalgia there, because when I first got into professional wrestling there and first got to watching WWE there, the first Undertaker rivalry I was seeing during that time period was with his rivalry with Randy Orton there. And looking back on it, it's still an enjoyable feud there, so hey. Remember them doing like I can't remember the name of the series there, but they kind of talked over that they did so on it there, kind of recap the feud between Randy Orton and their team there, So their matches there recently, they were very, I just had to build up for them there, both Orton and Undertaker did a really good job there in the feud. But everyone, like I said, this happened back in 2005 here, so and aside from one in-ring encounter there, they haven't faced each other before there, so but I was still a enjoyable rivalry for that time period there. I'll do a quick bullet points of what happened, the rivalry there, for those of you who aren't too familiar with the feud there. It all started back in around the beginning of 2005 there, in the build to WrestleMania 21 there, where Randy Orton recently turned heel once again there after his failed babyface run. as the world champion there, and WWE kind of rushed him there, being a babyface there after he disbanded from Evolution there, stuff like that. Triple H after Triple H there kicked him out of Evolution like that there. So they turned him back to heel character there, and they need someone who's got a lot of recognition WWE there to feud with them there. So they decided to go with the Undertaker there. And right where he was looking to bounce back after, kind of be lost in the shuffle there for a while, and that failed to recapture World Championship for Triple H there. So he decided to go after the Undertaker there and challenge him for the streak. And this was around the beginning where the streak started becoming a promoted stable of WrestleMania there. Right where I believe was the 13th person to challenge Undertaker as a defeated streak there, so right where he laid the gauntlet down after a blind Sunday Undertaker attack him by episode of SmackDown there, and Undertaker sitting there. And those two fought at WrestleMania 25, WrestleMania 21, everybody. Sorry, with my break for it. But anyways, and those two had a very back and forth battle there. Or he would put a valiant effort, but in the end, Undertaker came out on top at their first encounter. And his undefeated streak continued from there. It would be a couple of months before the feud continued there, but eventually Ray Ward got dropped over to SmackDown there. So Undertaker was on SmackDown there, and Ray Ward was a Raw superstar there, so. Well, he was on Raw, for the next couple months they weren't able to continue the feud, but they returned on SmackDown there, the draft that year, and the feud reunited there. That's Ray Ward challenged Undertaker for a rematch at SummerSlam that year. So our matchup very competitive, WrestleMania there. However, this time it will be Randy Orton coming out on top over the Undertaker there after a minor assistance from his dad, Cowboy Bob Orton. Although he was wearing a very weird face mask there. A very weird face mask there made by a makeup guy there. It was the same guy who did the face mask makeup there for Eric Bischoff. And the segment with Billy and Chuck back in 2002 there. Where they ended up with them getting tapped by 3-minute warnings. So, by ways of Undertaker and Ray Ward were tied 1-1 each there, which led to another match, to our third 1-on-1 match being on episode of SmackDown there, where Undertaker would come out on top. But Ray Ward wasn't done yet there. He would still continue feud with the Undertaker there. And like I said, his dad Bob Orton would get more involved there, which would eventually lead to a 2-on-1 handicap casting match at No Mercy in 2005, where the Ortons would come out on top and put Undertaker casting. Randy Orton was still his Legend Killer gimmick back that time period there. They wanted to make sure to put into the Undertaker there, so he tried to so he ended up poking a hole through the casket, there, and covering it with can't remember which liquid it was, but it was one of the liquids that helps ignite flames there, stuff like that. And his dad Bob Orton gave a match, lit the cast on fire there. That was the last we see of the Undertaker for a little while there. For about a month and a half to 2 months. However, it wouldn't be too long before we see the Dead Man return at Survivor Series that year. And we're at the closing moments of the show where Randy Orton got the victory for Team SmackDown in the Interbrand Survivor Series match. Team Raw and Team SmackDown. However, with Orton celebrating with the other SmackDown stars there, a familiar noise would be heard at the Undertaker's gong. Then a casket appeared, lightning strike hit the casket and lit on fire. And then emerged the Undertaker. And while Randy Orton managed to escape there, the other members of SmackDown roster at the time were not so lucky there and got laid out by the Dead Man. Undertaker was out for revenge against Randy Orton. Randy Orton tried to take out the Undertaker there by ramming a lowrider into the into the SmackDown entrance time with the Undertaker at the back of the lowrider there, caused an explosion. But Undertaker was still managed to come back for that there. And the rivalry eventually culminated at that year's Armageddon, the end of 2005. Where Ray Orton and Undertaker face each other inside a Hell in a Cell. It was a very grueling match between Undertaker and Ray Orton there. But yeah, the Undertaker came out on top. The Undertaker came out on top there. Managed to defeat the Viper. They defeat the Legend Killer. Ray Orton inside the cell there. So, anyway, well, like I said, looking back on this, so this was mainly out here due to nostalgia there. But like I said, this was the first Undertaker feud I got to while watching WWE here. But looking back on it, it's still a enjoyable feud there. And both Undertaker and Ray Orton looked very strong in the feud there. So it's not. They were definitely a good feud to check out there for the Undertaker there. In case you want to look up the Rivalries for the Undertaker there. And our next person on the list, everybody, is going to be one of the obvious picks here. You can't have a list of Undertaker's best rivalries without mentioning Undertaker's brother Kane. Now, on Kane and Undertaker, their careers have been intertwined with each other for a very long time. They've been on and off rivals there and tag team partners there. So, whenever they fought each other there, it felt like something special happened there and stuff like that. So, anyway, we're gonna try to keep this. Try to keep the summary of all the stuff that happened between the two of them. So they fought each other 3 different times there. 3 different time periods of WWE there. But I will go over the stuff there real quick. So, all started back in October 1997, where Undertaker fought Shawn Michaels in the very first Hell in a Cell match. In the closing moments, Undertaker had a match up there. Paul Bearer came out and revealed Undertaker's long-lost brother Kane, who in previous weeks on Raw, Paul Bearer revealed Undertaker's brother was still alive, and it turns out Undertaker had a long-lost brother there. Yeah, backstory there with Undertaker ended up lighting a house on fire there with Kane, and along with their mom and dad there. Kane ended up surviving. He was out for revenge against the dead man. Kane tore down the cell door there, stared at Undertaker, beat him down, played a hand and helping Shawn Michaels win the Hell in a Cell match there. And after that, Undertaker be out for a while there. They would eventually return there. The interaction with him and Kane. But those two wouldn't eventually fight until WrestleMania 14. Those who have a very back and forth battle there, but the end, Undertaker came out on top and defeated his younger brother. However, Kane and Undertaker would still interact with each other throughout 1998, 1999 there, and the other matches as well there. Although there'll be moments where it'd be questioned whether if they were working together or not there. And be included the time Undertaker was challenging Stone Cold Steve Austin for the WWE Championship there. So, like I said, Kane and Undertaker, they had different matches there after that. One time, I mean, including the match for WWE Tag Championships where Kane was champions with X-Pac there. And Undertaker was in a tag team with the Big Show. And those two teams fought there. By the end of Undertaker and Big Show got the win over Kane and X-Pac. They became the new tag champions there. Not too long after that there. It would be a while before we see Undertaker and Kane interact with one another again there, as Kane would have a blowout with X-Pac there, and he would be feuding with X-Pac for a little while there. Around the end of 1999, Undertaker will be out for a while there to heal up for some injuries and whatnot there. Then he eventually returned with a change of character there. You know, people were have mixed feelings there. People really enjoyed this iteration of the Undertaker, and some people not enjoy it that much there. Undertaker returned around Undertaker returned around Judgment Day 2005 there as the American Bass Undertaker there, a biker character Undertaker had there. And it wouldn't be too long before him and Kane went right again there. And that's when we officially start to see them team up more and more. Although there was a brief time period where those two they were feud with each other there. And they were supposed to have a match at SummerSlam 2000, but the match never officially started there. It turned out to be a massive brawl. And there was one part where Undertaker took off Kane's mask there, but eventually see the two of them team up. You know, there was this eventually before tag team there. Probably the most famous run as the Burns Destruction there. And Kane Undertaker will move on to win tag team championships multiple times that year. 2000, 2001 there. Become one of the most dominant teams for the tag team division there. But it would be like that until around the end of 2001, where we see the end of the Evasion storyline there with the Alliance, where back then called WWF was feuding with 4 superstars for WCW and ECW there, trying to take down the WWF there, which culminated a Survivor Series match with a winner take all matchup there where Kane and Undertaker were part of TWF there, but they got eliminated there in that match. But however, they were part of the win team there as Rock managed to defeat Stone Cold Steve Austin, who was part of the Alliance there, and the Alliance had to disband because of the loss there. But after that, though, Kane and Undertaker would go their separate ways there for a while. It wouldn't be until about 2 years later, Survivor Series 2003, where Undertaker was having a match with Mr. McMahon. And they were facing each other in a very live match after Mr. McMahon cost the Undertaker a match at No Mercy the previous month. And it looked like Undertaker was having the match wrapped up there until his younger brother Kane would emerge there and attack Undertaker and help Mr. McMahon bury him alive. And that'll be the end of the Undertaker as the American Bass. Yeah, Undertaker there. This was also during the time period where early that year Kane had to take off his mask there, a mask versus title match where he failed to win the World Championship against Triple H earlier that year. And Kane had a run, in the middle of a run as revitalized his monster side, stuff like that there. And eventually Kane would explain that he attacked the Undertaker. He would attack the Undertaker because Undertaker was become more humane there. He was not the leader of the dark side. He used to be there, so he wanted to bury his older brother or something like that there and put it into the Undertaker there or something like that. Now, after the Survivor Series there, we wouldn't see Undertaker for a while there. However, we would see signs of his return. Started at the 2004 Royal Rumble where Kane was participating, but image of the Undertaker, while he didn't necessarily show up there, that was the first sight of him eventually returning there, and Kane got shredded by that there, and he got eliminated. Thus, he lost the opportunity to main event WrestleMania 20 that year. And there will be signs of the Undertaker come out there, and eventually the gauntlet will be thrown down there where the Undertaker would challenge Kane to a one-on-one match at WrestleMania 20. And Kane ended up accepting that matchup there. It was the night we saw the return of the Dead Man, the Undertaker, along with Paul Bearer. That's what there. Like I said, we eventually saw the return of the Dead Man, the Undertaker, On the more modernized version there, kind of like a hybrid of the classic Undertaker and the biker Undertaker there. So the matchup taking place there. While Kane did eventually get some offense in, Undertaker would come out on top there and get the win over his younger brother. After that, it wouldn't be until it'll be a while before we see Undertaker and Kane feud with each other one more time. But during the time period there, they were on good terms there. They eventually even teamed up on a couple occasions there to reunite the Brothers of Destruction for different matches and stuff like that there. However, the brothers will face each other one more time there. Have a few against one another there. In 2010, where the Undertaker was mysteriously attacked by somebody there, and Kane was on a blood hunt to look who was the attacker there. Oh, during that progress there, Kane also won the Money in the Big Ladder matchup there, and later on that night would cash in the Money Make contract there. The Feud wrestler become the World Champion, be the first person in WWE history to win the Money in the Big Ladder matchup and cash it in on the same night. Now it would lead to a me feud with Kane and Rey Mysterio there, with Kane accusing Rey Mysterio be the one to attack the Undertaker. Rey Mysterio denied it there, believed Kane was the one who did it there. It all culminated at SummerSlam there between the two, where they fought for the World Championship there, and Kane would end up retaining the title against Rey Mysterio there. And he was looking to punish Rey Mysterio and end his career by putting his casket. But in the casket there, you got the Undertaker emerged there. And it looked like Undertaker was going to attack Rey Mysterio there. He had turned his attention to Kane. That's when Kane ended up having an evil laugh there. And thus the two brothers ended up clashing there for a bit. Kane ended up going out top there. And Kane ended up revealing that he was the one who attacked the Undertaker there. Now, I can't remember the reason why Kane attacked it there, but that will lead to their third and final feud with one another there, where Undertaker will go after Kane and also the World Championship there. Their first match will be at Night of Champions there, where Kane come out top. Then it will be inside Hell in a Cell, with Paul Bearer returning briefly there. First time with the Undertaker there. During the Hell in a Cell match, he would end up siding with Kane, and Kane would end up defeating the Undertaker once again. This eventually led to a third and final match between the two there at Bragging Rights 2010, where Kane and Undertaker faced each other one more time for the World Championship in a Buried Alive match. It looked like Undertaker would finally manage to defeat his younger brother, but then the Nexus came out, ambushed the Undertaker there, and Kane managed to turn the tables out thanks to the assistance from Nexus, and similar to 2003 there, Kane would end up burying his older brother, winning the match. Coming out on top of their third and final count with them there. And that'll be the last time we see Undertaker and Kane feud with one another there. And they'll be somewhere, like in the mid-2000s, where they'd be on and off, team up with one another there, reunited for the Brothers of Destruction there for different matches like that there. And while the two other feuds might not be as strong storytelling-wise as their first feud back in the Attitude Era, like I said, it always felt special when Undertaker and Kane fought each other there. And matches usually were pretty good. Were pretty entertaining to watch there. Plus, like I said, you can't have a list of Undertaker's best rivalries or favorite rivalries without mentioning Kane there, since those two been intertwined with each other's careers for a very long time. Everybody, next up, everybody, is the Animal Batista, everybody. And for those of you who remember watching WWE back in 2007 there, although 2007 was a rocky year for WWE because of a certain someone committing a horrible action, thus, getting WWE involved in very controversial probably the biggest controversy in pro wrestling history there. There were still bright spots with the 2007 there, in terms of WWE product there. One of them being the feud between Undertaker and Batista. And the feud started back at 2007 there. Undertaker would win the Royal Rumble match. And at first, he was in suspense. He kept the people in suspense which championship he would challenge for, but he ended up selling to challenge Batista for the World Heavyweight Championship. And the attention was definitely would build up within the next number of weeks there, including a couple interbrand tag matches there where they fought. Two of them would team up against Shawn Michaels and John Cena, who were set to face each other for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 23 that year. With Batista and Undertaker losing the first matchup there by gaining the win on the second in the rematch on Raw. But tension would definitely build up between the two of them there. Eventually led to their first encounter at WrestleMania 23 there. And this was a very exciting matchup there. A lot of back and forth between Undertaker and Batista there. Batista put up a strong effort there, but in the end, Undertaker would come out on top and would win the World Heavyweight Championship there. His first world title since 2002, where he defeated Hulk Hogan. Becoming the WWE Champion back at 2002 there. First world title in 5 years there. But Undertaker and Batista's feud would continue on from there. Lead to last man same match at Backlash that year, where it was a very crazy matchup, but it was a draw after Batista was spearing Undertaker off the entrance ramp there. And there was a big explosion there as things fell up top of there, and neither Undertaker or Batista got back up at the count of 10 there. And the two will have another match on episode of SmackDown there. Sorry, whatever there. Anyways, yeah, the two will have another matchup on SmackDown there for the World Championship. However, we decided Steel Cage. Although that match would also draw after both Undertaker and Batista would lay on their feet. At the same time there, thus the match ended in a tie. However, things did not end well that night for the Undertaker there because not too long after the match, he got ambushed by the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. After that there, Edge came in there, and early that week, he won the Middleweight briefcase from Mr. Kennedy. He went over SmackDown there, and went after the Undertaker, and pinned him to become the new World Heavyweight Champion. And wouldn't see Undertaker and Batista feud for a while there, as Undertaker was out with injury for a number of months there. Thus, the main event picture for SmackDown was Edge versus Batista for World Championship there. But then Edge would eventually get injured there, would be forced to relinquish the World Championship there. That's led to a Battle Royale. The new World Champion, which was won by the Great Khali. And Batista would continue to chase after Khali for the World Championship there until he eventually won it back that year, Unforgiven, after he defeated the Great Khali in a serial triple threat match for the title. However, I can't remember if it was at Unforgiven or at No Mercy that year, but the Undertaker made his return there, and first started out a feud with Mark Henry there, and he went after Mark Henry as Mark Henry blindsided him there and stuff like that after a steel cage match that was partially responsible for him losing the World Championship. Which Undertaker would eventually win the match against Mark Henry there. And after that, the feud between Batista and Undertaker would reunite once again. Those two would face each other at Cyber Sunday, where Batista would come out on top that time. And the two of them would have their final one-on-one match that year inside the Hell in a Cell at Survivor Series there. And it was a very grueling Hell in a Cell matchup there, with both Undertaker and Batista bleed very badly there. A very brutal matchup there. Although Undertaker was going to defeat Batista and win back the World Championship there, But then Edge would make his return and toss the Undertaker, toss him the World Championship there, helping Batista retain. Eventually, Edge got inserted the feud for the World Championship there, which led to a triple threat match for the title at Armageddon that year, where Edge would come out on top. Undertaker and Batista wouldn't meet until February 2008 there, where those two were participating in the Elimination Chamber matchup there for SmackDown, where the winner will get to challenge Edge for the title at WrestleMania, for the World Championship at WrestleMania there, where all became down Batista and Undertaker there, and Batista put up a valiant effort, but the end Undertaker came out on top. He would be the one to challenge Edge for the World Championship at WrestleMania that year. And we wouldn't see Batista and Undertaker feud for over a year and a half. It wouldn't be until October 2009 when we kind of started research. A couple more matches between the two of there. First one being at Bragging Rights 2009, where Batista, Undertaker were a fatal 4-match for World Championship there, with Undertaker as champion defending the title against Batista, Rey Mysterio, and CM Punk, which Undertaker would eventually retain the title there. However, after that, also not too long after that matchup there, Batista would eventually turn heel and attack Rey Mysterio there after the match, blaming him for tossing a chance at the World Championship there. The friendship the two of them had developed there, which will eventually lead to a match between the two of them at Survivor Series there, where Batista would come out on top. Sorry, I had the burp there. Anyways, also that same day, Undertaker would defend the World Championship in a triple match against a Big Show and Chris Jericho, where he would retain the World Championship there after the Big Show passed out for the trial chokehold there, or Hell's Gate there, as you call it. And Batista and Undertaker will have their last one-on-one match at 2009 TLC there in a chairs match. Batista would put up a good effort, but Undertaker would come out on top and retain the World Championship there. And that was the last time we would see Undertaker and Batista face each other in the ring there. While their 2009 feud wasn't as strong as their 2007 feud there, Undertaker and Batista put in some of their best matches in their entire careers during their feuds together there. They're always entertained to see these two battle each other one-on-one there. So, that was a great feud for both. Great for both Batista and the Undertaker there. So, definitely one of the bright spots of 2007 that year. Looking back on with everything that went on with WWE that time period and stuff like that. So, yeah. Sorry again for burping. And my next person listed by is Brock Lesnar there. Now, I know Brock Lesnar is not necessarily the most well-liked person in WWE there, since he doesn't show up that often there and stuff like that, And, whenever, his recent runs as world champions there, he's going to be given a lot of criticism there for not showing up that often there and stuff like that. And barely defended the title there. And where his last run as champion was better than his previous runs there, like his first, definitely, especially compared to his first run as Universal Champ. Yeah. But despite the criticism Brock Lesnar gets there, you can't deny that he is a big attraction for the WWE there. But he wouldn't have had that status if it weren't for his feud with the Undertaker there. Um, Before I talk about their modern encounters there, I dial it back to 2002 there, where the first time those two fought. Although it wasn't for very long, though, it would set the stage for one week to come between the two of them there. Where Undertaker was still in his biker phase there, as American Badass there, and he was looking to become the next challenger of Brock Lesnar for WWE Championship there. Those two would face each other inside Hell in a Cell and No Mercy that year. It was a very grueling match there, but in the end, Brock Lesnar would come out and tell for the Undertaker there, and retain the championship there. Although he would walk out with some major moves for the battle there. As about a month later at Survivor Series, Brock Lesnar would lose the WWE Championship to the Big Show there. But the Undertaker definitely gave Lesnar one of his toughest bouts that when he first showed up in WWE there, and the Deadman was not backing down there, so yeah. However, the two would encounter each other until 12 years later for WrestleMania 30 there, where Brock Lesnar became the latest person to challenge Undertaker his legendary undefeated streak at the time, which became 21-0 during that year. 21-0 for the previous year after he defeated CM Punk. Undefeated streak that lasted over 20 years there was on the line. And while their match wasn't the most exciting there, the build-up was very well done, and the conclusion led to arguably the most shocking moment in WrestleMania history, with Brock Lesnar defeating The Undertaker and ending his over 20-year undefeated streak at the grandest stage of them all. And Lesnar was already seen as a big star within WWE there, but his victory over Undertaker launched him to new heights that we haven't seen before with Brock Lesnar. However, it would be a while before we see The Undertaker, as Undertaker suffered legitimate injuries there after the match and ended up collapsing after he reached the gorilla position backstage. So Undertaker will be out for a year until he returned a year later to challenge the face Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 31. So the same night, Brock Lesnar was defending the championship against Roman Reigns. That match eventually turned to a triple threat match, and Seth Rollins successfully cashed in the money made contract and pinned Roman Reigns to become the WWE champion there. Eventually, the Brock Lesnar chased it after Seth Rollins and tried to win the WWE championship there. When Brock finally had the chance to win his one-on-one match with Seth Rollins there, he had a certain old enemy come up to him there in The Undertaker there. Undertaker attacked Brock Lesnar there. It kept him from winning back the WWE Championship that night. He laid down the gauntlet for the rematch there. Those two would face each other at that year's SummerSlam. Although their match in 2015 SummerSlam was probably the weakest they had, the rivalry there. And there was already a moment there where both Lesnar and Undertaker got up there and just start randomly laughing. I had a bit of a weird finish there, where it looked like Undertaker had Lesnar had Undertaker beat there. Eventually, Undertaker turned the tables there, and eventually got the win over Brock Lesnar by locking the Hell's Gate, making the Beast card pass out. That's going to be Undertaker his first win over Brock Lesnar. But, like I said, the match had a bit of a controversial finish with there, due to different things going on there, stuff like that. There's one part where Brock Lesnar looked like he had Undertaker beat there and stuff like that. So Lesnar called Undertaker out for one more match for Hell in a Cell. And Undertaker accepted. And so was their first Hell in a Cell match. It was a very grueling match up there. Probably one of the most grueling Hell in a Cell matches in recent history there. But the both Undertaker and Lesnar bleed very badly. And even the wind parts of the ring being exposed. But after a grueling match, Brock Lesnar would come out on top over the Undertaker and get the win. Thus, the rivalry there, yeah. And while not all of Lesnar's and Undertaker's matches were star matches there, you know, the build-ups for them were very strong there. Plus, when you look at Undertaker's other rivalries there, I think his rivalry with Lesnar was a bit different there because it put Undertaker in a very different position because Undertaker's usually says either the dominant one going into the rivalry or on an even playing field with his opponents there. With Lesnar there, Undertaker was in a bit of an underdog position there because he first lost to him in 2002, then he lost to him at WrestleMania 30. And it took him 13 years to finally get a victory over Brock Lesnar there. So, plus, this was his match with the Undertaker definitely benefited Lesnar there, as helped establish him there as a main event player and launch him to new heights there, especially after his victory over Undertaker at WrestleMania 30 there. So, yeah. And with next everybody, they talk about two different individuals everybody since, about two different individuals everybody, although the rivalries with the Undertaker are somewhat intertwined with one another there. That'd be Triple H and Shawn Michaels there. And those two be considered some of Undertaker's biggest rivalries there, so yeah, so I kinda had to talk about them here, so Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, their first rivalry would be around 1997 there, 1998. Not too long after SummerSlam there, after Shawn Michaels cost the Undertaker the WWE Championship against his match with Bret Hart that year, where Shawn Michaels was a special guest referee. It's really sure Bret Hart ended up losing there. Both him and Shawn Michaels would be banned for the United States of America and would be shipped over to Canada. And Michaels tried his best to be fair to the matchup there, but so today good happened, and well, eventually led to Bret Hart winning the WWE Championship there. Now led the two of them feuding for a while there. It'll culminate at the previously mentioned Hell in a Cell match, where Kane made his debut there, where the stipulation would be whoever won the match would challenge Bret Hart for the WWE Championship at that year's Survivor Series there. Which I had previously mentioned, Shawn Michaels waited up thanks to assistance from Kane. It'll be a couple months later when Undertaker and Shawn Michaels will face each other once again there, in a casting match, I believe, for River there, where Shawn Michaels would win the matchup there. However, there was a controversial moment of the matchup there where Shawn Michaels had hitting the casting there, and he ended up really hurting his back. And unfortunately for Shawn Michaels, that eventually led to him forcing to retire or retire from the business for a good number of years there. He eventually dropped the championship to Stone Cold Steve Austin in WrestleMania 14. Although there was reports of Michaels being hesitant there and maybe back out of the match,